Hi, it's Dee Dee here with Dee Dee Heart Energy. I am going into my fourth segment here. I have questions that people have been sending to me and they want me to answer them with these YouTube videos. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm hoping my new little dog hops up here soon and joins us one of these videos. I'm sure she will once she figures it out. I wanted to say thank you for listening to these. I know they might feel a little bit choppy. It's been a while since I've been doing these regularly. Eventually, I'm sure they'll come together beautifully and succinctly. But here's my last question that I had a client send. She said, patriarchal system returning to celebrating the divine feminine. This is about females finding their power and understanding what power is. And for so long, we've been working in a patriarchal system. And that means the patriarchal system boiled down to its most basic messaging is men are more important than women. And for a long time, men lived like this. They were encouraged to be like this. Fathers and sons and grandmas, grandpas, everybody in the family system would say, well, the male is the important part. And in all of that messaging, for hundreds of years, this has been going on, the females were raised and programmed to say, oh my gosh, you know, is my man okay? Are my sons okay? Like, the men run the world and they need to be well taken care of. There's just this messaging that they're more important than the female. And in this growth spurt that we've been going through lately, particularly with coronavirus and the raising of the frequency of the earth and the people who are still living on the earth, it's all going to go into the high frequency, which means we'll wake up and we will become a lot more aware of the energies of what's going on around us. What heals us the fastest is starting to understand what it means to be on equal footing with one another. Really understanding and being able to live through thought, word, and deed in the fact that we are all on equal ground. We are equally valuable. We are equally worthy and deserving, all of us. My big thing was, and I tried to explain that all these people were angry with me thinking I was a racist. I was trying to explain during the BLM movement in the cities with the violence and everything. I was trying to explain that we don't have time to talk about skin color anymore. We don't have time. We need to release all discrimination and understand that we are all on an equal playing field. Young or old, short or tall, fat, skinny, male, female, dark or white, doesn't matter. We are all an equal playing field. All living things are. And this is a big deal to really wake up to, because I know a lot of you can hear this and say, yeah, I know that, but are you acting that? Are you aware of all the thoughts, words, and deeds, the programming that you've been raised with and that's come down through the ancestry for so long? So when I talk about relationships of equality, and I'm talking right now about men and women, intimate relationships, we'll also make it about workplace relationships, but I really want to talk about men and women primarily. This patriarchal idea that the man is more important, the man has more power in the family system, in the workplace, in marriages. It doesn't mean money. I know where I live is more traditional, so typically these bedroom communities are actually funded by the man's money, whether it's his work, his career, his family. And more women obviously are becoming a lot more financially sound and more wealthy. It's not about money. And I think a lot of people think when I talk about equality in relationships, they're thinking wait, I have to make as much money as he makes, or he has to make as much money as I make. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with equal exchanges all the way around. So let me give you an example. It has to do with my feelings are equally important to your feelings. My comfort is equally important to your comfort. My desires are equally important to your desires. And there's this power play going on a lot in these marriages. Oh my gosh, it's like, woo, woo, woo. Like the man says, okay, whatever she wants, because he doesn't want her man. And well, what did he just do? He threw himself under the bus because he knows he'll have a miserable night if she's not happy or whatever. And then there's a lot of women that do that as well. They're like, oh, whatever he wants, he gets. And it's like, well, stop. That's not, we're not on equal footing. We're not in an equal playing field. And without that equalization that the earth is trying to maintain for us, and humanity has to be pretty quick to fall into alignment with this so that we can all ascend together. This virus actually goes away at this point. It really does, mark my words. It means that we all start treating each other as if every single human being, animals and plants alike, are as important as we are to ourselves. Everybody's feelings matter, okay? Everybody's comfort matters. Everybody's everything matters. And we don't tip the scales from racism by then sinking, you know, white people and elevating black people. We're just creating another problem that we have to equal out again. We should put all of us on the same level. And I mean, even things like male, female, young and old. I went through a big transition where my support was completely wiped out and taken away, and it was not under my control. And my daughter went to get an engineering degree. And I thought, wow, what if I wanted to do that? I can't get an engineering degree. I don't have the same access to the federal funds that she has. I can't do it. You know, I'm 32 years older than she is, and that's not available. Those loans aren't available for me, but they are for the kids. And it was just one of the many millions of examples that we can come up with. But I wanted to try to express my thoughts and feelings at the time to help us all get even further into helping one another let go of all discrimination, just all of it. Anyway, so about the patriarchal, I have a lot going on with clients right now, and a lot of the angels and guides are coming through to me talking about the patriarchal society and how the divine feminine is starting to really bubble up. And we're learning to understand what that means, okay? I'm going to start with a small part of it. We'll be talking about it a lot, you know, in future videos. But a small part of it is how women are treating each other. One of the things that's keeping that patriarchal system here is that women have been burying each other. And when women bury each other, it just puts a stronger hold in the patriarchal system and its ability to stay, okay? So if you take about, for example, the workplace, and let's say it's predominantly men, and the few women in the workplace are sparring with each other and they're not getting along, that's usually happening because underneath that, there's a patriarchal system there. The women know that. So they already feel like they're a rung or a step or two below the men. So they're already feeling a little or a lot of scarcity, some desperation, and a need to really hold on to their power and their position. That they'll start fighting with each other, and they'll be pretty mean with each other, shoving each other around. And they're doing that because they feel in that patriarchal environment that they're already coming from less than. And if they could just stop in that moment and give it a big exhale and say, no, I'm not going to participate that way any longer. I'm going to treat every single person here as if they are my equal. I'm not afraid of not being the best woman in this room. It's a very patriarchal system thought form. I have to be the best woman at this party. I need to be the best woman at this company. I need to be the very best woman in this group, in this boardroom, in this neighborhood. It's all coming from scarcity, as if there is not enough. When we understand that there's enough room for plenty of talented women on equal footing with each other in an equal playing field, we become very powerful, because that's saying, I am plenty, I am enough, I am extra, I have plenty and extra and enough. There's plenty to go around. Those are the frequencies of abundance, okay? And from there, we begin to come right back into alignment. And that means the higher frequencies, we can more easily get up to that penthouse of love and appreciation. Now we have high frequency. Now we are fully empowered. Now we can make magic happen. Now we are aware and in alignment with being our best, finest, most powerful creator of our lives. It's really important that as women that we stop trying to bury each other. We do it because we feel like we're not enough. We do it because we feel insecure or less than. And the person that does that the most, the women that actually do that the most, putting other women down, are the most insecure women. They have the most fear and the most lackful mentality, you know? And they don't understand, they can't even see, they're so steeped in that, they can't even see that they're actually creating fear in their fellow female relationships. Because their fellow female relationships are like, oh my gosh, listen to what she's saying about this woman. Wow, I never want her to be mad at me, because you know she's going to be doing that to me next week. So for what it's worth, and we will talk more about the patriarchal system and how we can all come together in this equal playing field with equal footing, men and women, and that's when the peace is restored, okay? Before the peace can be restored and we all together can ascend to that penthouse energy, we have to take a look at the truth that we're actually living through thought, word, and deed. You know, how are we acting? How are we treating someone? How are we speaking about other people? What is the messaging we're putting out there about one another? And how can I stop doing this and feel more calm and secure, being on an equal playing field to everyone else and everything else? It's just a really great feel-good way to start the new year, understanding that, you know what, these are some things worth thinking about, and these are some things that I'd like to indoctrinate in my new year, and things I'd like to change and readjust for myself. I will add to this very last bit before I say goodbye for the January 1st, 2022 New Year celebration, is I'd like to add that the deeper we're willing to go about who we are and how we've been being, the more fruitful and deliberate our life becomes. If you want to remain asleep and not notice character traits about yourself and ways that you're being, start waking up to some of the things I'm talking about, you'll have to stay at those lower levels. You would not be in the penthouse in the high frequencies. You can hold high frequencies. You can get there. You can hold high frequencies and get to high frequencies for short periods of time. Maybe you had a great day at the beach, so yay, you're in high frequency. Maybe, you know, your boyfriend just sent you flowers to go, yay, I'm in high frequency. Maybe you just had a beautiful dinner out with your lovely daughter. Yay, I'm in high frequency. But that life-sustaining baseline of high frequency living, okay, can only be achieved when you're willing to take a look at the programs, the beliefs, the behaviors, the thoughts, words, and deeds that you've been engaging in that aren't working out so well. And when you wake up to that, you start to discard a lot of that. You slowly raise your frequency, and you're able to stay at the higher frequencies for longer and longer and longer periods of time. You'll have to make some adjustments and some changes to do it, because that penthouse doesn't allow throwing other women under the bus. That you just be right out of there down on the lower level. You can't be in the penthouse and believe that people can send you spells. Doesn't work either. What I do if I have something that's very kind of tough and disturbing for me, I get help with it. I like to work with energy healers. I am an energy healer. So I'll call someone and work on it, or I'll check in with my own spirit guides and write it all out. I do automatic writing. And the spirit guides just talk to me right away about what I need to be doing about this or that. We all have programming, and we all have ancestral programming that can be pretty tough and pretty dense. And there are a lot of ways to start to dissipate that programming. I actually made you one more video because I wanted to cover that tonight. I thought I would, up at the top with the second video about Omicron. And I'm going to sign off because I've been on for 16 minutes. And I'll see you in a few, and I'll go over some of the ways that we can start developing a higher frequency lifestyle. Okay, thank you so much. Bye for now.